Istanbul, June 1826. The air is thick with incense and whispers. The city trembles, not from foreign invasion, but from something darker. The Janissaries, the once elite guards of the Ottoman sultans, are sharpening their blades, but this time against their own ruler. They were once the pride of the empire, Janissaries, the sword and shield of the sultanate. Born from kidnapped Christian boys, converted and trained to be fearless warriors, they had built the empire with blood and steel. But by the 1800s, their legacy had rotted. Once elite soldiers had become drunken mercenaries. They refused reform, resisted modernization, and turned Istanbul into a city held hostage. They extorted merchants, murdered rivals, and manipulated the throne itself. The empire was decaying from the inside, and everyone knew it. But Sultan Mahmud II was no ordinary ruler, and he had a plan, one that would end a centuries-old power in fire and shadow. Mahmud II had seen what the Janissaries did to his ancestors, how they had deposed and even killed sultans who dared defy them. He knew that open war was suicide, so he waited and watched. He created a secret corps, the Askari-Manchurai Mohammadi, a new modern army, quietly trained in the countryside, dressed differently, drilled in European tactics, all under the guise of ceremonial guards. The Janissaries laughed. They mocked the toy soldiers. But Mahmud wasn't playing games. He was planning a purge. In June 1826, Mahmud made his move. He issued a decree. The empire would adopt the new military structure. All soldiers, including the Janissaries, were to be retrained under modern codes. It was the moment he had prepared for. The Janissaries rioted. Thousands of them stormed the streets of Istanbul, overturned carriages, set fire to barracks, and demanded the Sultan's head. But this was exactly what Mahmud wanted. Now he could claim rebellion and unleash his fury. Under the cover of darkness, Mahmud called the ulama, religious scholars, to issue a fatwa. The Janissaries, they declared, were rebels against Islam and the Caliph. The entire army, the new corps, palace guards, even civilian militias were armed. And at dawn, the order was given. Cannon fire thundered through the city. Janissary barracks were surrounded and bombarded. Those who tried to flee were cut down in alleys. Entire buildings were set ablaze. Smoke turned the sky black over the Golden Horn. It was not a battle. It was an execution. By the end of the purge, over 6,000 Janissaries lay dead. Their bodies were thrown into mass graves or dumped in the Bosphorus. Those who survived were arrested, tortured, and executed. Their sacred lodges were torn down, their records burned. In the heart of Istanbul, Mahmud erected a tower of weapons taken from their corpses. It was a message to the world. The Janissaries are no more. And yet, Mahmud didn't stop there. He banned even the memory of them. Speaking their name became a crime. The empire had erased them from history, or tried to. The Ottoman Empire emerged stronger, at least on paper. Mahmud ushered in modern reforms, European advisors, military academies. Istanbul began to resemble Vienna more than Baghdad. But the soul of the empire had changed. Fear had become policy. The shadow of the Sultan grew darker. And though the Janissaries were gone, the memory of their brutal end haunted the corridors of Topkapi Palace. Whispers of the Vakuite Erai, the auspicious incident, echoed through the empire. A successful purge, a silent warning, and a ruler who had stared into the abyss and survived. In the grand tapestry of Ottoman history, the fall of the Janissaries wasn't just a reform. It was a reckoning, a reminder that power, when unchecked, corrupts even the protectors. And that when rulers decide to kill their own army to save their empire, the line between savior and tyrant blurs forever.